And so this is my Catching Fire book review. If you have not already read the book, only half of this review is going to be for you because most of it is going to have spoilers in it. But I do definitely recommend Catching Fire. It's really interesting. The plot is quite creative. It's very well written without being difficult to read. It's a page turner, like The Hunger Games was, but you really get to care about the characters, get to know the characters a lot better. And I really enjoyed that. It's probably the less violent of the three books, more although there is violence and there is that heart-pumping desire to know who survives and all of that is still in this book, but I feel like you really get to enjoy Catching Fire and get to know the characters, the main characters and also the characters that have been important in Katniss's life in the past, as well as a little bit more about the people in the capital. After you finish reading this, you're going to really want to read Mockingjay, and it really is a continuation of The Hunger Games, so you kind of have to have already read The Hunger Games, but I do feel like this book is worthwhile. Don't read the synopsis of Mockingjay before you have finished Catching Fire because that will give a lot away. But yeah, I think this is most of what I can tell you without giving a lot away of the plot. I do recommend that you get this book. So bye to all of you who have not read this yet, and I hope to see you back here once you have read it so you can watch the second part of the review. Not that it's that exciting. The book is incentive enough to read it on its own. So yeah, bye, and stay tuned if you have read it. And so for you guys who have read Catching Fire, I have to say that this book was pretty much amazing, and it has the biggest cliffhanger ever. I was so happy that I had bought Mockingjay and I had it in my house when I finished reading Catching Fire, because if not, I think I would have gone crazy. During the first few pages, I absolutely fell in love with Peeta, how he just wasn't possessive of her. He wanted the best for her and he wanted the best for everyone, and I just thought that really spoke to his character. However, throughout the book, you also get to really like Gale and to get to know Katniss's family and the dynamics of the village where she lives and everything. So I thought that was really interesting. I thought it was quite well written, as I've already said. So now I'm going to add some clips that I actually filmed with my Mockingjay review, and I was planning to put in there, but the Mockingjay review kind of got too long. So I'm going to put these clips in here, and these are more thoughts on the plot than on the actual writing style of Suzanne Collins, but I hope you enjoy it. I feel like Hunger Games is probably the best written of all the books, but Catching Fire was really my favorite book. The parts like when they went to District 11 and they essentially gave hope to the families, and the way that they defied the Capitol, while it was sad that the old man died and like other people died, the way that they defied the Capitol without intending to, I thought that was so moving. When everybody kind of whistled Rue's lullaby, and then they kind of did the three fingers to her as a sign of respect, and I was so moved by that. There's just so many good scenes, like also the scene like with the dress. Poor Cena, oh my goodness, I loved Cena, but just the dress, how he was like, I channel my emotions into my work so I don't harm anyone but myself. He was so brave to do that. I was so moved like by the whole audience's reaction. Nobody knew how to react, and it just kind of like pulled people to kind of realize that these are real people. And just like when they all held hands, like it was all of the districts uniting, and it was the first like symbol of unity amongst the districts, because it's true, there's strength in numbers, there's strength in people working together, and that's exactly what the Capitol had been working so hard to avoid. And it just, I was actually kind of surprised that they didn't all just kind of plop themselves down and say, hey, I'm not going to kill anyone. But I guess a lot of them did give their lives to have the Hunger Games stop, and to stop that mentality that it was okay to just like play with other people's lives. Catching Fire was my favorite book, definitely, just because of those, like, mostly those three parts, and the way that like Katniss and Peeta got to know each other better, and I guess I also liked that there wasn't as much violence. And one thing that I thought was interesting that I actually saw in another book review on YouTube that I wanted to point out, that in the Hunger Games cover, the Mockingjay, and I don't know if the covers for all of the Hunger Games books are the same in each country, but in the books that I have, the Mockingjay is on the pin in the Hunger Games, so the Mockingjay is just a symbol. In Catching Fire, the Mockingjay is free from the pin, but isn't really taking flight yet. And Mockingjay in Mockingjay is actually kind of soaring free. And that really does not tell you anything about the plot of Mockingjay, because it's interesting. It's probably not going to be what you expect. So yeah, this marks the end of this review. I did make a review on the Hunger Games book, and then it kind of touches upon a general review for the whole series, so you can check that one out if you want to recommend it to someone. And then also I've made a Mockingjay review, so when you finish Mockingjay you can kind of come back and hear some of my thoughts, and I want to hear your thoughts on what you think about it, because it's definitely an interesting book. Yeah, I hope that you're all having a wonderful day, and I look forward to reading your thoughts on the Hunger Games. Okay, bye!